So, if you watched my Mario plush collection video, which you totally should if you haven't, I made a joke about how the worst decision my parents ever made was buying me a Mario plush when I was 11. I'm gonna take that back and say the worst decision they ever made was giving me a Beanie Boo for Easter in 2018 because, yeah. So, this is my entire Beanie Boo collection right now. I haven't really featured my Beanie Boos on this channel much yet, so I'm sure you weren't expecting this, but it's about the size of my Mario and Pokemon plush collections combined. And today I wanted to have a little showcase and introduce them one by one. So let's begin, starting with the dogs. First up, we have my first ever dog Beanie Boo Dexter. Then we have Slush. Another Slush, except this time he doesn't have a nose. Next we have Zuzu. Not to be confused with Zuzu Pets. Next up we have Spirit. Next we have Dougie. Hugo. Honeycomb, Isla, Muddles, Noodles, Pooch, Pugsley, Sissy, Rainbow, another Rainbow, Chewy, Yips, and Helena. And those are all my traditional Beanie Boo dogs. We'll get to that later. But now it's on to like kind of a subcategory, but like also kind of its own thing, the foxes. First up for the foxes, we have Atlas, Phoenix, and Meadow. And that's it for the foxes, so it's on to the cats. Starting off the cats, we have Scrappy, Kiki, Muffin, Sophie, Fiona, Fergus, Opal, Cassidy, Heather. And so those are all my Beanie Boo cats, which means it's time for another like kind of subcategory, kind of its own thing, but this time there are a lot more of them than there were foxes. It's the leopards. Starting off the leopards, we have Dottie, Lainey, another Lainey, Cobalt, Livy, Regan, Coco, and Gazelle. And those are all my Beanie Boo leopards, so it's on to the birds. So even though I put them all in one category, the first chunk of these are going to be owls, and starting that off is Yago, my first ever Beanie Boo. Owlette, Percy, Moonlight, who, fun fact, has the same birthday as me, Owen, Enchanted, Wooly, Olivia, and now we're on to the regular birds, starting with Beaks, another Beaks, who has a rip, Gilda, and Orson. And now that we're done with those, we're going to move from the air to the ocean and go to aquatic creatures. Starting us off, we have Flippy, Sparkles, Finnegan, Ollie, Sheldon, Bubbles, Pierre, Tusk, Turbo, Waddles, Tony, Fisher, Perry. I don't know if a platypus would count as an aquatic creature, but I'm just putting it here. Also, platypuses are my favorite animal, so yeah. And another Perry. Now that we're done with that, let's move to a smaller category, bugs. First up, we got Busby, Izzy, Scooter, and last but not least, another Scooter. So those are my Beanie Boo bugs, and this next category is kind of a loose one, but it's rodents and like small animals. You'll see. First up for this category, we got Squeaker, Nina, Rodney, Oki, Linus, Leanne, another Leanne, Binky, and Becca. So that's it for the rodents and small animals, and now it's on to the biggest and loosest category yet. It's basically just wild animals. I was gonna separate them into like farm and zoo, but like I really don't know. So there'll be just a ton of subsections. First up, we've got my only horse, Harriet. Onto the cows, we've got Butter and Ethel. Onto the pigs, we've got Piggly and Hambone. Onto the giraffes, we've got Stilts and Gilbert. Onto the elephants, we've got Peanut, Specs, Eva, and Trunkles. Onto the lambs, we have Twinkle and Daffodil. And then we have my only goat, Gabby. Onto the monkeys, we have Coconut, Zuri, Chessie. What a unique Beanie Boo. And we've got Wasabi. Onto the bears, we've got Frankie, Bamboo, the panda, Boom Boom, also a panda, and Carly, a koala. And they don't really count as bears, but they're like close enough. It's Dangler, the sloth, and another Dangler, who is also a sloth. And the last few are kind of just like one of each, starting with Tiggy, the tiger, who is my favorite Beanie Boo of all time. I just love the green accents. Ramsey, the lion / unicorn, I guess. And Jamal, the camel. And now, after all of that, it is finally onto the dragons. Starting off the dragons is Cinder, Grindel, Spitfire, Flint, Daphne, and Mia. And those are all my Beanie Boo dragons, so from evil to good, it's time for the unicorns. I'm really running out of room, but starting off the unicorns, you have Pixie, Blitz, Wishful, Stitches, Rosette, and Harmony. And those are my Beanie Boo unicorns, and after all of this, it's finally down to our last category, holiday-themed Beanie Boos. So they have Beanie Boos for a lot of holidays, so I guess we're just going to start at the beginning of the year and work towards the end. And that means we're starting with Valentine's Day, which means we're starting with Romeo the dog. And lastly, we have Esme the panda. Onto Easter, we have Hops, Lollipop, and finally, this abomination of a Beanie Boo, also known as Giggles. I'm sorry if you like her, but like, why does she look like that? My only Halloween Beanie Boo is Mist the ghost. And finally, we're onto our last subsection, Christmas Beanie Boos, starting with Sleigh Bell the dog, North the penguin, Chimney the mouse, Mac the mouse, Icicles the owl, Tinseltoes the reindeer, Garland the snowman, Nolan the gnome, and the final Beanie Boo in my collection, Nutmeg the gingerbread man. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed watching this collection showcase, and if you haven't already, go back and watch my Mario and Pokemon plush collections, and stay tuned for my 2026 Beanie Boo collection showcase when that comes out. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and have a Beanie Boo-tastic day.